Hello guys and welcome to AI Sciences. Today we are going to learn another new topic which is polynomial regression. Now in this lecture we will learn what is polynomial regression and then we'll move on towards some theoretical part of polynomial regression, not a lot but just basic building blocks of theory. Finally, we will also learn what is the difference between polynomial regression and linear regression. In previous lecture, we have also learned linear regression. So if you are jumping toward this video, I would recommend you to watch our previous video, which is about linear regression, because polynomial regression is nothing but just an advanced form of linear regression. So it is highly recommended that you learn, at least watch the video of linear regression. And finally, we will also do a lot of hands-on practice for polynomial regression, and we will also learn what is overfitting and underfitting in polynomial regression. So that's our agenda, and I am Sajjad Mustafa from AI Sciences. If you are new to our channel, you're welcome. We make courses on data science and artificial intelligence. Please check out the link in the description. You will find a lot of courses that will help you in your career. So let's start with polynomial regression. Now, what is a polynomial regression? Before jumping towards the polynomial regression, let's just have a little bit of recap of linear regression. This is linear regression, right? This one is linear regression. So let's say you have a lot of data samples, data points, and you want to fit a line into it, right? And you are bound to use linear regression. And in previous lecture, I told you that in linear regression, you can just fit straight line. You cannot fit any flexible line. The max flexibility that you have is you can play around the y-intercept like this, and you can play around the slope of the line. You can change this line to something like this. I mean, that's not a straight line, but something like this, or maybe something like this. But you cannot, make curves in the line like this in linear regression, because that will go out of the definition of linear regression. We will not go into the mathematics of linear regression a lot, neither of polynomial regression. So I'm generically telling you that in linear regression we are bound to use straight line. That straight line is called a linear line. Okay, so to overcome, let me just remove this. So to overcome this issue, let's say what is the issue? We fit this line, this straight line. Now we can visually see that there are some other tools to measure the error, to measure the performance or accuracy, but here we can visually see that this line is not a good line. Actually, it is not even acceptable line. It is not near to a lot of points. So if we measure the error, we have this error, we have this error, we have this error, and error is a lot over here in this straight line. So ideally, line should be something like this, that should touch almost a lot of points, right? So here comes polynomial regression. Now in polynomial regression, you have flexibility to maneuver the line. You have flexibility to maneuver the curve of the line up to any extent, right? So here we have, this line is quite flexible and it is touching a lot of points. If not touching a lot of point, but it is close to a lot of point, and it is touching also many points. So here you can see that the chance of error is, lesser than the previous, much lesser than the previous one, right? You can see that here chance of error is quite a lot. So that's the basic difference between polynomial regression and linear regression. Again, you might be wondering that we have learned what is linear, we have learned what is polynomial, but we have never learned what is regression. Again, please go to the previous video if you want to learn what is regression. So that's about polynomial regression and linear regression difference. Now we are jumping toward its implementation that we have done through NumPy, and I will tell you what's going on over here. Then we will again move back and learn some more theoretical aspects. We are just importing a few libraries: NumPy, Matplotlib for visualization, NumPy for some calculations, and then here is R2 score. For now, ignore this. We will try to learn what it is by the end of this video. So here we have two features, only two-dimensional features. X is our feature, right? And Y is our data class. You can say that this X is, let's say, the age of car, and y is speed of car. Let's just assume this is a dummy data. Okay, then we are building a model. In linear or polynomial regression, what is our model? Our model is nothing but this line. This line is our model. That's why linear regression or polynomial regression, these regressions are called very very easy and simple regression models. So this line is just our regression model. So how can we get this line for this data? By the way, we have this sort of data, whatever you can see over here, this sort of data. So line for this data will be different from the line of, let's say we have this box and we have this sort of data. Here our line will be something like this, right? So it totally depends on data. So here we have to pass x and y as arguments to the data. Forget about 3 for now. Okay, so here we are doing what? Numpy dot poly1d. This is a method that will fix a polynomial feature line, and here we are passing numpy polyfit, right? And here we're passing x and y. What is x and y? X are the features, y are the labels, or the target class. Now what is 3? Let me take you back to the linear regression. Here the degree of the line is 1. Any straight line, the degree of straight line is 1, and that is the definition of linear regression. Again, we are not going to the deep mathematics. Just remember this. Wherever the degree of line is 1, it will be linear regression and it will be a straight line. Wherever degree of line is more than 1, right? I think that's wrong. No, that should be something like this. Degree of line is more than 1, that will become polynomial regression. Okay, so here let me tell you the degree of line is 3. Here degree of line is 3. When we will run it, you will see that it will produce exactly something like this. So again, feature, target class, and degree. We will play around this degree more later on. And here we are just, for the visualization, we are creating some line spaces. We are making a scatter plot. We are plotting a line on the scatter plot, and we are just showing it. Let me run it for you, and you will be able to see that it will produce exactly the same plot. Here you can see that these blue dots are the data points, and this blue line is our model. Now I can make it a linear regression, a linear model as well. If I'll pass 1 to it, you will see that here you can see that it is nothing but a straight line. And when I'll pass, let's say 2 to it, you can see that the line is a little bit curvy now, right? I mean, it is curvy as compared to the previous one, and it is touching more points as compared to the previous one. If I'll make it to 3, now you can see that it is touching even more points. If I'll make it to 4, you can see that it is touching even more points. Let me make it 10. Any guess what will happen? Line will become very, very flexible. Here you can see that now it is touching almost every point. I mean 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 points are missing, so let me increase its degree to 15. Now you can see that it is touching 100% points. Every point is being touched. Now how can you, again, here's a question. Should we use such a model in which our model or our line should be touching every point? That's a question. It will be answered later on. Now another thing, R2 score. What is R2 score? R2 score is an evaluation score. In this video we will not talk about evaluation of the model a lot. There will be a separate video on evaluation of the models. So in this video, let me just briefly tell you how can you calculate the evaluation. I mean, how can you evaluate your model, if your model is good enough or not. So R2 score, we are importing it from sklearn. So in R2 score, we will pass the labels, the target class, and the model, right? So let me run it. So if R2 score is close to 1, then it means it's a very good model. And if R2 score is close to 0, it means it's a bad model. Its range is from, let me write it over here. So its range is from 0 to 1. 1 is good, 0 is bad. Okay, so here you can see that line is fitting pretty, aggressively. And the R2 score is 0.99, which is almost 100%. Okay, let me make it 1 and let me run it now. Now R2 score is 0.18, which is almost 0, which is the worst thing, right? So now you may be thinking that we should be using, let's say, degree of 100 or something. You can use that, no problem. Here you can see that your R2 score is going pretty high, but that is, let me tell you, that is bad. Why that is bad, we will try to discuss it by the end of this video. For now, I think 3 or 4 is a good degree of the line for this sort of data. This is not a very fancy data. This is quite simple data in terms of data science. So we have learned how to make our polynomial regression model. We have learned how to evaluate our model if it is good or not. Now the third thing is, how can we predict our model? Okay, let me go back, and that's how we predict our model. Let's say we have learned a model and I want to predict my speed of car. So let's say this is speed and this is age. So what will be the speed of my car? I mean, that's obviously wrong, because it is showing speed is decreasing with the passage of age here, and then it is increasing. That usually doesn't happen, but let's assume that here car was new and here car was old, and then the owner get their cars repaired and then their speed again increased, something like this. I mean, that's dumb, I know, but it is good for simple learning. Otherwise, if I'll present a fancy data, it will be difficult for the beginners to understand. Okay, so we want to predict the speed of car at the age of 20, right? So at x-axis we have 20, right? And on 20 we can see that this yellow line is touching somewhere over here, and here the value of y-axis is almost 96, 97, right? So let me run this cell. Here you can see that my model, here in my model, what is my model? My model is my line actually that I'm learning from the data on the degree 3. Again, you can see that x, y, and degree is 3. So in my model, I'm passing 20 because I want to check the speed of my car at the age of 20, and then I'm just printing the speed, and here you can see that 97.7. Let me go back, and here you can see that it is almost 97.7 or 98 or something. So looks good. All right. So we have learned almost everything of polynomial regression, but a few important components are left. This 3. As I told you that we will discuss why we don't put, let's say, 1000 or 10,000 or some positive infinity value over here, so that we learn very good model every time. Why don't we do that? Let's learn over here. Okay, so there is a thing called overfitting. You may have you may have figured about it. So here, this model, we have degree 3, and here in this model I think we have degree 15. Okay, you may be saying that this line is not touching every point, but this line is touching almost every point. Not almost, but actually every point. So this line looks much better than this one. Yes, you're right, visually you're right, but in machine learning our goal is not to touch every line. Why? Because we don't want this sort of edges in our model. This is bad in machine learning. Our model has to be very smooth, not very smooth, but this sort of smooth, right? But not this sort of edgy model. We don't need this sort of model that has a lot of edges in it. Why don't we encourage this sort of model? Because let's say I want to predict value over here. This is speed, right? Speed, and this is age. Let me say age. Okay, I want to predict value over here. Let's say this is 1, so value will be 40. And you can see that the value over here, so let me call it 2. So you can see that value on 1 is 100, value on, let's say this is 3, value on 3 is almost 70, right? 70. Value on 1 and 3 is 100 and 70 respectively. How can value on 2 be 70? Be this 30. This can never be 30. And here you can see that if we come over here, you can see that value on 1, value on 3, I'm just giving you example, and value on 2 will be somewhere over here. So this makes sense. Value on 2 will be somewhere over here. This is value on 1, this is 2, this is 3. So this makes sense, but this never makes sense. That's why we want to avoid edges every time. And our goal is not to touch the line to every point. Our goal is to make line closer to most of the points, but not to touch every point in order to make this sort of, you know, edges. So this is overfitting. So how can you get a good value of your degree? 3 is good value or 15 is good value. We cannot, you know, visualize our data every time. So a good value of degree, how can we get it? Let's go back to the code, and here is the important thing, R2 score. R2 score, where you see that R2 score is not increasing drastically. Let's say R2 score on 3 is 94, right? And R2 score on, let me run it on 3 first. It is 94, 0.94, and R2 score on 10 is, let's say on 5 is 95. So it is not increasing drastically. But if I go to, let's say 2, here you can see that R2 score is 75. So R2 score on, let me write it over here. So R2 score on 2 is 75%, right? R2 score on 3 is 94%. R2 score on 4 is, on 5 is 95%. So you can see that from 2 to 3, R2 score was drastically changing, but from 3 to 4, R2 score wasn't changing a lot. So wherever you see that there is not a lot of change, you can, you know, stop over here to the best value. That's one heuristic that usually people use. Another thing is underfitting, the exactly opposite of overfitting. What is underfitting? Let's say here's a model with value 3 and degree 3, and here is a model with degree 1. And degree 1, you can see that it is, I mean, this line is not even close to most of the points. That's why we will just ignore this model, and this model will be good. And another thing is on degree 1, I already shown you that. I have already shown you that R2 score is, you know, worse. That's why we will just ignore it. It is too simple to be used, underfitting. Again, this is NumPy implementation of polynomial regression. If you want to implement it in sklearn, here I've written the code for it. You can check it out. Link is in the description. You can, you know, run it on your own machines easily. And another thing is, in this sklearn's implementation, we have used data, some real sort of data, and I will also upload this data.csv file as well. So that's about it. We are AI Sciences. Please check out our website if you want to pursue your AI, artificial intelligence, or data science career. We have a lot of courses on for especially the beginners. Thank you very much.